So amidst the political din, my first task is to try and get an explanation for this contentious bill. Who better than Faizan Mustafa, Professor and Vice Chancellor at Chanakya National Law University, one of the country's leading legal scholars on these issues. Appreciate your joining us, Professor Mustafa. Tell our viewers, why is this Waqf Amendment Bill so contentious? What exactly is the bill about according to you? Because we are getting two views. There is the Owaisi view, which is that this bill is against the Muslim community. And there is the view of the government who claims that they are trying to reform the Waqf Board. Where is the truth, sir?
No, the truth is always in the middle, Rajdeep. There are few provisions in the bill which can be welcomed, even though the question will remain whether we are moving away from the stated goal of one nation, one law. Say, inclusion of women, inclusion of OBCs, non-Muslims. Personally speaking, these are welcome provisions. The diversity of the nation must be reflected everywhere. In any case, the Waqf Board, Rajdeep, is a statutory authority. Many of us believe, and many anchors, I'm so sorry to say this, believe that Waqf Board is some private body of Muslim clergy and they can claim any land. Nothing can be further than truth. It's a statutory body and therefore it is a state within the meaning of Article 12. Most of the members of the Waqf Board are nominated by the state governments. No property can be declared as a Waqf property by the Waqf Board on its own. A survey commissioner who is a public servant, a government employee, has all the powers of a civil court, will make a survey, will make a recommendation to the Waqf Board. Waqf Board is a statutory authority. Then Waqf Board will make another recommendation to the state government. Only when the state government publishes in its official gazette, in the Raj Patra, so to say in Hindi, it would become a Waqf property.
Sir, if I may then come to the specifics. The specific and the principal objection to the bill seems to be it will lead to greater regulation and control by the state. The state will have enormous discretionary powers. Do you believe that that is a concern? Should that be a concern that both at central and state level, the government will now start running these Waqf properties?
Yeah, correct, Rajdeep. You would be surprised that you have religious properties of non-Muslims in the country. You have of Hindus, of Christians, of Sikhs. Waqf is a religious property of Muslims, but it is already most regulated. You have a central law in respect of religious properties of Muslims, but you don't have a central law in respect of religious properties of Hindus. Already the Waqf Board has far extensive powers if you compare them with the Joint Commissioner of Religious Endowments and Charities in Tamil Nadu or in Kerala or in Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh or in Telangana. So Waqf is highly regulated already. Now the bill is going to further tighten the control. The question to me is that we are changing the name of the Waqf. Now this is a 4-letter term which is unique to Islamic law. In fact, even the English law of trust was borrowed from law of Waqf, even though both are slightly different because in Waqf the property is not vested in the trustee, it is vested in God, and generally the Waqif who is creating a Waqf cannot retain any benefit for himself. Nevertheless, what we are trying to do, now we are suggesting about a 50-letter term for this word, Waqf. And we are saying we are going to improve management, we are going to improve the efficiency. Change of name does not change anything on ground. If the idea is, Rajdeep, to improve the efficiency of Waqf boards, and I am conceding, like many government departments, as I told you, that Waqf Board is like a government department. It has government nominees, is inefficient. There have been, charges of corruption about governments, about political leaders, about bureaucrats, about judges. So there may be some corruption in Waqf Board as well. But the remedy we are prescribing, is it going to make the Waqf management more efficient? Now, if you are reducing the powers of the regulator of Waqf, now Waqf Board is what? It regulates the management. There are thousands and lakhs of managers of Waqf properties who are called mutawallis. Waqf Board is an apex body to manage and supervise the work of mutawallis. If we are going to reduce their powers, how can they improve the efficiency of administration?
You mentioned the question of efficiency versus the question of unaccountability. Those in government who are saying that this bill is needed are saying that Waqf boards are unaccountable. Do you see anything in this new bill that will ensure greater accountability of those who manage Waqf properties?
No, there is a greater accountability, but not at the desired level of the mutawallis. We are trying to reduce the power of the regulator. The greater accountability should be in respect of managers of Waqf on ground. We are trying to regulate, let us say, not the assemblies, but the parliament. That is not a good idea. Ideally, greater punishment should be provided to mutawallis. There are some provisions which are an improvement in terms of punishment of mutawallis in the bill. But as such, in terms of encroachment of Waqf properties, I believe that the protection of Waqf is being reduced. It is not being improved. There is absolutely no denial of a fact that there may be corruption in Waqf, but the remedy we are providing, is it a good remedy? That is what should be debated.
So let's debate that. In a sense, you're saying that you do need some level of a greater level of accountability. You're not sure whether the bill provides that. I want to understand from you the other question, that the worry is that the bill therefore will be used as a weapon. And there is this fear-mongering going on, particularly among minorities and Muslims, that tomorrow this is going to be a direct intervention in minority affairs. Do you believe that this bill does that or not?
Rajdeep, if I had power as a legal academic, instead of bringing the Waqf bill, I would have brought a uniform law on religious properties for all communities with almost identical provisions, because that would have fulfilled my promise of one nation, one law, and a constitutional mandate of a uniform civil code. Different laws which have different provisions. So we have one provision for the Hindu religious properties, another for Sikh properties, and a third for Muslim properties is not a great idea. And if the Muslim community feels that in respect of their religious properties, particularly graveyards and mosques and this and that, Waqf by user, we are trying to take away those properties, I think the government has a duty to convince them. Whenever the British government was passing law about natives or any religious community, it was taking them on board. In many cases, a member of that community was nominated to Imperial Legislative Assembly to pilot the bill. I think we are trying not to make them convinced about the utility of the bill. Rather, we are playing it to the gallery and telling the majority community that we have, fixed the Muslim community in terms of Waqf, which is not a good politics in my opinion.
Professor Faizan Mustafa, for giving us a sense as to why this bill is so contentious. I appreciate you joining me and explaining really what the Waqf Board is all about. Thank you very much.